What Marc Márquez revealed after the test at Circuito de Jerez truly shook the paddock. At a moment when Ducati Lenovo team was under heavy pressure and its dominance was being questioned, an unexpected signal of resurgence suddenly emerged from inside their own garage. Radical changes to the bike, a bolder new approach, and Marquez's admission about improved cornering feel have all become a serious warning to rivals that Ducati is far from finished. In fact, they may be preparing to come back stronger than ever. But is this truly the turning point toward a new era of dominance, or just a glimmer of hope that may not last once the lights go out? Let's discuss. After a start to the season that fell far short of expectations, pressure finally began to build inside the Ducati Lenovo team garage. A team that is usually dominant suddenly looked lost, even going through a surprisingly long podium drought. But Ducati is not a team that sits still in crisis. Without wasting time, they moved quickly by conducting a crucial test at Circuito de Jerez, held over 3 days from Monday to Wednesday. This was no ordinary test. It was a defining moment for Ducati to turn things around and rediscover their best performance in the 2026 MotoGP season. Ducati arrived in Jerez with one primary mission: to fix the weaknesses that have been holding back the performance of the Desmosedici GP26. Their focus immediately shifted to several key areas. One of the most noticeable changes was seen in the swing arm, a vital component that plays a major role in maintaining stability when exiting corners and ensuring optimal rear tyre traction. This update is expected to give riders better control, especially under aggressive acceleration in race conditions. However, the most eye-catching development was Ducati's new approach to aerodynamics. Unlike their previous philosophy, which was known for large and complex aero packages, they are now experimenting with smaller, simpler designs. This shift is not without reason. A smaller aero package is believed to improve front-end feeling, an area that has long been one of Ducati's weaknesses, particularly during corner entry. In other words, Ducati is willing to sacrifice a bit of downforce in exchange for better control and rider confidence. It's important to remember that Ducati's freedom to develop is not as open as rivals like Aprilia Racing. This is due to MotoGP's concession system, which strictly limits top teams from making major changes throughout the season. While these regulations are designed to maintain competitive balance, they also present a unique challenge for a team like Ducati, which is used to aggressive innovation. While Aprilia still has the flexibility to test various new concepts and carry out major experiments directly on track, Ducati is forced to take a far more strategic approach. They can't simply introduce radical packages, they must maximize every small detail, from aerodynamic refinements and braking characteristics to tyre management efficiency and electronics. Yet this is exactly where Ducati's true strength begins to show. Within these limitations, they demonstrate remarkable consistency through a precise and calculated approach. Every change, no matter how small, is based on solid data and executed with high accuracy. This is what keeps Ducati competitive at the highest level, even when their room for innovation is restricted by regulations. The most positive news from the Jerez test came from their star rider, Marc Márquez. After previously struggling to adapt to a bike that didn't suit his natural riding style, he is now beginning to feel a significant improvement. He admitted that he feels more comfortable controlling the bike, especially when entering corners, a crucial phase that had previously been a weak point and cost him valuable time. "I feel more comfortable, especially in left-hand corners. The bike's feeling is much better than before," Marquez said, sounding optimistic. More than just a boost in confidence, this statement also signals that the development direction taken by the Ducati Lenovo team is starting to deliver real results. Marc Márquez believes the team is now moving in the right direction, even though there are still a few technical details that need refinement. Most importantly, he now has a solid enough foundation to push the bike to its absolute limit again, something he'd previously struggled to do consistently. This is a crucial signal for Ducati. When a rider with Marquez's instincts and aggression begins to feel comfortable, the bike's performance potential can rise dramatically. If this positive trend continues, it's not impossible that Ducati will soon re-emerge as a serious threat at the front of the grid in the coming rounds. Despite the encouraging test results, Ducati's work is far from finished. The changes made are promising, but the big question remains. Will these upgrades truly be effective in real race conditions? Testing and racing are two very different environments. Track conditions, competitive pressure, and race strategy will all serve as the true test for Ducati's new package. However, one thing is undeniable. Ducati has responded to its crisis quickly and decisively, and that's a clear sign they are far from giving up. On the other side, attention is also focused on the journey of sensational rider Toprak Razgatlioglu, who is preparing to face a major challenge as he heads toward MotoGP. Toprak is known for his aggressive riding style and exceptional braking ability. However, transitioning to MotoGP is no easy task. The bikes in this class are far more complex, from engine power and electronic systems to the vastly different handling characteristics. To face this challenge, Toprak has chosen to learn from an experienced figure, Andrea Dovizioso. This decision is widely seen as the right one. Dovizioso is not just any rider. He brings years of MotoGP experience, a deep understanding of bike setup, race strategy, and how to maintain consistency over an entire season. For Toprak, this is the fastest way to adapt. Entering MotoGP is not just about skill on the bike. Beyond that, there is immense mental pressure, high expectations from teams and fans, and constant global media scrutiny, all of which become real challenges for any newcomer. Many talented riders are fast on track, but not all can withstand this level of pressure. This is where the role of a mentor becomes crucial, not only to provide technical guidance, but also to help manage mental strength, read race situations, and make the right decisions in critical moments. Toprak has made it clear that he doesn't want to just make up the numbers in MotoGP. He arrives with a big ambition, to be competitive right from the start. That awareness is what makes him open to guidance from an experienced figure. The combination of Toprak's aggressive riding style with Dovizioso's calm and calculated approach has the potential to create an exciting synergy. If this chemistry develops well, it's not impossible that the two could become one of the most promising collaborations in MotoGP over the coming seasons. The test at Circuito de Jerez has provided a glimmer of new hope for Ducati amid the heavy pressure they've faced since the start of the season. Technical changes are beginning to show a positive direction, especially with the growing confidence of the riders. The return of Marc Márquez's smile is a clear indication that the bike's development is starting to find its way, even though performance consistency remains an unresolved challenge. On the other hand, the arrival of Toprak Razgatlioglu adds a new dynamic that further intensifies this season's competition. His big ambition and aggressive approach could be a game changer and additional pressure for his rivals. But the big question remains: is this truly the beginning of Ducati's comeback, or just a momentary surge of optimism? Drop your thoughts in the comments below,